Oh, hey! This is Ima, gamer. Now you might be wondering why you clicked on this video about the game Peggle. I mean, it's a funny name given the context of modern humor, as it's cartoony and childish, and definitely not a way to suffice your crippling gambling addiction matched as a video game for all ages. Then, oh boy, you're in for a ride. So go grab some water, snacks, and silliness, as this is the world of Peggle.
This week I spent 10 on my feet. I be so high, I forget to eat. I be so high, I forget to sleep. Yeah, I be so high, I'm so real.
Okay, so now you might be wondering, what the hell is Peggle? Well, Peggle is this, and all of this is Peggle. Okay, let's start with this one. Now, as simple as I can put it, Peggle is a ball dropping game where you hit, well, pegs. Kinda like pachinko machines, but they're skill involved. Sometimes. I'll get you back on that later. The objective of the game is to get rid of 25 orange pegs with only 10 balls. Throughout these games, 55 incredible levels. At the beginning, you can only play the story mode, in which you play each of the 55 levels from easiest to hardest to graduate from the Peggle Institute. Oh yeah, you are in school trying to get a degree in Peggology? I don't know, man, but whatever the hell Bjorn was smoking when he invented Peggle, but I want some of that shit. Oh yeah, that is Bjorn Unicorn. I'll talk about him later, and all of these guys. Also, here's me getting my degree in Peggology. Not to flex, but I am a part of the board of regents of the institute. Anyways, another goal of winning in Peggle is getting the highest score possible, either to get free balls besides getting them in the bucket at the bottom, or, just to flex. Now, how does score work? You get points by hitting both the blue and orange pegs, with a base score value with orange being 100 and blue being 10. Then, scored is multiplied by how many pegs were hit during that shot. Once you get rid of enough orange pegs, the base score that all pegs give gets multiplied by either 2, 3, 5, and 10. Peggle, as you know now, is a very simple game of hitting on, well, pegs. Now, for the real buzz of what makes the game have an incredible and invigorating replayability, is to begin with. Okay, you really thought Peggle is just a ball dropping game? No. Your ass better be sorry for thinking that. As I mentioned before, there are masters of Peggle, each with unique abilities that will aid you in beating the levels. Sometimes. You can get these abilities by hitting on the green pegs. Now, let's begin with the most simple and recurring master, Bjorn Unicorn, the headmaster of the Peggle Institute and creator of Peggle. His power is the Super Guide. It tells you the direction the ball will go for the next 3 shots. Next, we have Jimmy Lightning. His power is the multi-ball. More like, can't get multiple bitches. Got him. His power makes a second ball spawn near the green peg you just hit. Next corner, we got Cat Tut. His power is the pyramid, in which changes the free ball bucket into a pyramid, and theoretically making it easier to get free balls by getting them in the bucket. Next master is from another universe, that being Splorg Sporkin, an alien with the power Space Blaster, and yes, it makes anyone a Grandmaster. His power creates an explosion that tags all pegs in an area. Next, and somehow not being eaten yet, we have Claude Lobster, a French lobster whose power is putting pinball machines for the next 3 turns at the bottom corners of the map. Next, we got the Kobe, the LeBron, the Sunshine, the goat of Peggle himself, Renfield Pumpkin. His power is the Spooky Ball, which makes the ball respawn at the top once it reaches the bottom, while maintaining all of the momentum from when it reached the bottom. Jimmy wishes he was as good as Renfield. Next, we got the Rainbow and Glimmer of Peggle, Tula Sunflower. Her power is Flower Power, and it gets rid of 15% of the remaining orange pegs. Next, we have the Magician Warren Rabbit. His power is Crippling Gambling Addiction. The Lucky Spin gives the player a 25% chance of either getting a free ball, a magic hat on the ball for the next 2 turns, triple the played score for 2 turns, or get a power from a random Peggle Master. Next, we have the frightening Lord Cinderbottom. His power is the Fireball, which will get rid of all the pegs it comes in contact with. Next, and finally, we have the Enlightening Master Who. His power is the Zen Shot, which just calculates the best possible shot near the angle you decided to go. He prioritizes the point boost peg, which increases the rate at which pegs give you points, under any circumstances. Once you complete the story mode, you can play as whoever master pleases your game style the best. Okay, so Peggle has pegs. Yeah, every time you start a new level, the position of orange, blue, and green pegs is randomized on the set layout of the level. This makes each time you play a level, be it your first time or the 10 millionth time you play that level, it is most likely you will never see the same layout twice. After that, each level is designed to be beaten by any master, giving you freedom to adapt to each level's difficulty or for any goal that is in your mind. Just to clarify, I am not a gooner. I may have autism on a 2007 game, but there's a lot more than just gooning. Peggle has more than just 55 levels. It uses those levels and gives them the twist to keep the game challenging after you have completed the game. These levels add an extra goal to beat besides just clearing 25 orange pegs, such as clearing 50 orange pegs, or beating 10 games in a row. Or my favorite challenge is an intense 1v1 duel against a computer and the player with the highest score wins. But if you want to handle your crippling gambling addiction, you can try the score threshold challenges levels. You will need Warren's triple score to be able to score 1 million points in one level. The challenges bring an extra layer of difficulty that keeps, again, the game fresh and enjoyable even to a veteran player. If you wish to play the normal levels, you can just press the free play button as well at the main menu to play whichever level you desire. Okay, so you probably like other games, like Team Fortress 2, maybe even World of Warcraft. These 2 games have something in common. Yeah, you guessed that right. Peggle. Peggle has entries with both franchises in collaboration. For example, Valve released in conjunction with PopCap Peggle Extreme, and World of Warcraft released alongside PopCap as well Peggle, World of Warcraft, showcasing each game new 60 levels with the beloved characters of both franchises. Now, the Peggle universe has a total of 6 or 7 entries in the series, if you count Peggle Blast. Now, Peggle has been in all the gaming consoles, such as the Nintendo DS systems to even the PlayStation 5. In fact, when I was a wee little one, my first experience with Peggle was pirating Peggle 2 on my Xbox 360, then uninstalling it to get the new Minecraft minigames. Hey, don't blame me, I was 7 years old. Peggle 2, however, was released in 2013 as a console exclusive game. In other words, PC gamers were losers. Yet there was no way of playing Peggle 2 besides an emulator, so I proceeded to forget about it. Until now. However, I rediscovered the game while I was going through Instagram. I don't know, it was late. But then I became obsessed. I started reliving my childhood and bought most of the Peggle entries, and it was great. And then I noticed the changing quality and production of the games after 2010. So it does bring the question, how come the pre 2011 games are leagues above the latest releases in the franchise? How did Peggle become what we love now? Peggle is, of course, inspired by pachinko machines. Back in 2002, the game was completed quickly, as it is not a very complex game. Yet, PopCap decided to hold off its release to polish the game, a quality that almost no game studio holds nowadays. Not even PopCap. But back then, PopCap was always known to make banger games, such as Plants vs. Zombies, Zuma, Bejeweled, and of course, Peggle. No one can argue these are bad games. They were made with the soul, tears, and years of some of the most talented game developers ever. An environment of innovation in which games hold a place for the most hardcore of gamers to the most casual. Many simple mechanics put together to make a fun and sometimes even challenging game. Peggle, for example, being an easy game overall to beat, but not to complete everything the game has to offer, as it holds the easiest win condition of the old PopCap games. Get rid of 25 orange pegs. Yet, this condition was taken to unprecedented levels in the way they use it to challenge the player. But an enjoyable challenge that cannot be seen in the latest entry of the game. Now, I want to talk about another game that brought Peggle to unprecedented popularity and the idea for this project, Peggle Dual Shot for the Nintendo DS system. This game should not have been possible, given the computational power of the Nintendo DS. Yet, PopCap engineers worked relentlessly to make a polished experience of Peggle Deluxe, with even introducing new game mechanics using the bottom screen of the device. And while the gameplay is indeed choppy, since the console lacks any power to run Peggle at its best, it brings the possibility to take and play Peggle in your trips. And that's fucking awesome sauce. Now, I am stopping the glaze, because what the fuck happened after 2011? Well, nothing. There was no Peggle game released from 2010 to 2011, but one teeny major change. EA's acquisition of PopCap. We all know EA games. They used to be beloved by the quality of games they released for both console and mobile players, before they became the slop that it is now. However, EA's transformation into the company we know today does not happen overnight, and the release of the game Peggle 2 in 2013 may have been what begun it all. Peggle 2, as I mentioned before, is a console exclusive game, which, for some reason, got rid of all the Peggle masters in the past entries for new ones. That's pretty good. Except for Bjorn and Jimmy Lightning, which the latter would come as a DLC. Wait, DLC? Yep, you heard that right. A $10 DLC for Peggle 2. Mind you, other games had DLC as well, such as Peggle Nights, which adds an extra 60 Christmas themed levels for $5. Wanna know how many levels Peggle 2's DLC added? 20, with 2 DLCs, which you had to buy separately. Sure, it brought for some reason Jimmy Lightning back and added a new master with a mediocre ability at best. Did I tell you that they also overhauled the art style in Peggle 2? Now, Peggle 2 had now become what Peggle DualShot was at the time, a buggy mess few people liked, yet still a somewhat enjoyable experience. But this is what started the beginning of the end. After the obvious success of Peggle 2, we waited 3 years for the next entry, Peggle Blast. Oh, Peggle Blast. Where do we start with this piece of shit? Peggle Blast is the newest entry in the franchise, released in 2016 and then remastered in high definition in 2020. This game takes a leap and introduces the Peggle format into the mobile gaming industry. This is an okay game. This takes the greed and shit of Peggle 2 and adds a life system to it. So every time you lose a level, you lose a life, and must wait 10 minutes for it to recharge. But it's fine, you can recharge your lives with real life money. But it's still fine, right? As there must be only around 60 levels, right? Nope. There are a whopping 208 levels, which at around level 67 is when the unfairness begins. There's no hope of ever retaining your sanity if you decide to 100% this game. To be fair, it does introduce some of the most overpowered masters ever seen in the franchise, which, even with their absolutely busted abilities, the levels are still impossibly difficult. Now, you remember the challenge levels, right? Well, Peggle Blast does not have them as optional. Sometimes, Peggle Blast has you beat the ranged levels EA summoned from the depths of hell, or else you cannot progress. Like, just why, EA? Why do I have to pay to make any progress in this game? And then, this game even has the audacity that when you finish the game, to hide mystery pegs on each of the 208 levels for you to collect. As if beating the game itself wasn't a horrible experience the first time, now you have to do it again. But EA still has some heart in them left, and made it so once you beat the game, you can use any master that you have unlocked at will and will not take away your heart and kidneys if you lose. But hey, at least one good thing that Peggle Blast gives is Fnord, Bjorn's evil twin brother. Peggle, as you might have guessed, has become such an obscure and niche game since the disappointing release of Peggle 2, that if you even ask a hardcore EA fan, they might not even know about it. Except, of course, any PopCap fan above the age of 15, because there's no way Timmy over there, whose only PopCap game is PBZ 2 on mobile, knows what Peggle is. This, however, does not mean by one bit that Peggle is a dead game. By any means, its relatively small community makes creativity flourish and push the game's physics engine to its fullest. Content creators such as Dug, a Polish author, also pull heavy weight in repopularizing the game after the big 2020. Hell, if you are watching this video about Peggle, and I am making this video for my college English class. Yet, it is a video that I have been wanting to make for a long time. Peggle, again, is a video game, and one thing that keeps games alive for a long time is how fun it is to beat the game. A speedrun is a self-imposed challenge on how fast you can do something in the game. And as I mentioned before, Peggle's addicting game mechanics and replayability are a prime example of the community doing wonders with only the 10 balls given to them. With many being able to beat the game so impossibly fast, you would think he is a robot. Yet, Peggle is always changing, even when we haven't gotten a new entry since 2016. As for any game, the community is what keeps it alive. We all hope for a new entry in the series, Peggle 3, which takes back everything into the old glory days. However, once again, the community is and has been developing add-ons and mods to add new content into past entries, bringing back lost media like Peggle DualShot and Peggle 2 to emulators for the people to play, making memes in all the social media pages like Instagram and YouTube. Content creators like myself will continue to talk about the game and continue to glaze the masterfully crafted physics engine and the game mechanics of the olden games. I have high hopes that since EA is now remaking their old games, that they can give the old Peggle franchise some love, but not the treatment of PvZ replanted. Peggle, at its core, has been more than a game to me, and probably for thousands of people. It is a masterpiece in game development with one black sheep among them all, that even if I dislike, I want Peggle to be held to the highest of standards and not get the treatment PvZ replanted got. Now, given the political state of the United States, voting for leaders is the most important, which is why my vote goes to Bjorn Unicorn. Hit the credits! Wait, nope. You really thought I was done. There is still one more thing I want to talk about. The following rant will not be censored and it is unscripted, so stay if you wish, but you have been warned. Now, I will talk about how shit Jimmy Lightning is. I kid you not, this naked mole rat has the audacity to call me a new student every time I play as him with the god-awful power that he has. He is so bad that I have yet to find a good clip of him using his power that does not end up being completely useless. The multi-ball, while being good in theory, is absolute shit during all stages of the game. As I said before, it spawns an extra ball in the direction of the green peg was hit. But guess what? That original ball is already going that way, so having an extra ball in that scenario does nothing but waste your time. If the green peg was in an unoptimal place, you might as well be fucked for the rest of the game. Then, when you are not wasting your life using him as your master, he gets up all in your face just to say radical because you got one swaggy long shot. Then, for some god-fucking reason, he is the second most recurring character in the whole franchise, having an appearance in all of the games. And while Peggle Blast does make his power leagues better than what it is in other games, in that game, you can't even use him outside his levels until you beat the 208 shitty levels. And why would you use him when you can have a fucking nuke in the letter masters? And what is probably the biggest drawback that he has is that fucking Renfield exists in all the other games he is featured in, besides Peggle 2, in which he costs $5 and a liver. But Renfield is what Jimmy will never be. Renfield's power completely overshadows him. Jimmy is to Renfield the same as what Tears of the Kingdom is to Breath of the Wild. A bad, not thought of side character. Okay, bye.